person ever. If you want to attempt to do Fulani braids and knotless braids with me, let's do it. Pretty much is like this. I don't know if you can see that. True. It's like Fulani braids in the top. Now, I can't do that style, but because I'm not really sure if I can do cornrows with added hair. I mean, I know how to do them on other people, but I honestly never done them on myself. But okay, I think I could do something maybe. So it's like, this is a beautiful girl, by the way. I have no idea who this is. She has like knotless braids in the back, and then she has like a row of knotless braids throughout. Excited because I've always wanted to do like the human hair leave out, but I've never actually wanted to spend the extra money for the human hair, if that makes sense. But so I got Milky Way 100% human hair, ripple deep. This one is 14 inch, this one's 16 inch. They're actually different colors. One is a 1B33 and one is a P427, but I'm gonna use both. Hopefully it looks good. And then this is the braiding hair that I had left over. I'm not going to go buy no more braiding hair, so this just needs to work. I only have this much. I think I should be okay because the leave out is that. So this is just gonna be the roots, pretty much, like the root and the end. Like, yeah, I think I should have enough. So, and this is in the color 1B30. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna try to finish today. If I do not finish today, I have to wear my hair some type of way to work and finish tomorrow. But the cruise is on Saturday, but we are going to go to Houston tomorrow. So yeah. Now, isn't my hair so long? Like, what the freak? Like, and this isn't even like bone straight. This is still like, you know, I blow dried it, but I pretty much just stretch it. It's crazy. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is part your hair. I always part out the front part of my hair. I use my ears as kind of like landmarks. So I just go from the tip of one ear to the tip of the other ear and make sure you section that part off and keep it separate. Then I want to do the back. So I found it easier to just pre-part every section. And I did about, let's see, 6 sections in the back so far. And then I still have some hair at the top that I have to section off. But this kind of like takes a lot of time and sometimes it makes me tired. So I just do as much as I can do, and then I start braiding, and then I might have to part some later on. So with these, you want to, don't part them so small unless you want to literally be braiding all day. So maybe you can find like a parting diagram like on Pinterest or something, and that can help you kind of get your parts more even if you're doing bigger or smaller braids. But you just go from one side to the other side and then just put it in a little ponytail to keep it separate from the rest of the sections. Next, I'm going to start portioning my hair. So I have my sewing thread rack. This is pretty old. I've had it for a long time. And I do the small sections of the braiding hair. And then this is going to be the human hair. And I had to cut it off the weft. I find it easier to kind of hold it together and cut it like by like a trash bag or the sink because like a lot of hair will fall out. And then you want to split it up into small little slivers. Actually smaller than the ones I put up there. But this is my first time using human hair, so that was how small I did it at first. And then you want to separate each section into parts. So I use my mirror to separate each section into parts, and then I go and just braid each section individually. And this helps me get like even braids, and it just helps like the parting look neater when you're doing it yourself. And I'm going to show you how to add in hair at a later part in the video at a slower pace. If you want to continue watching, you can, but I will show you up close and slow it down for you later on in the video. You can find all of the times for adding hair, adding curly hair, parting, all at the bottom of this video in the description. And if you see at the end, some of the straight pieces are still in the ends, so you will have to use a curling rod to curl the ends to make it all uniform. This is the sad truths of being your own hairstylist. It's midnight and I just haven't been able to finish. So it's not like I just been braiding continuously. I stopped and did orders with my sister. I cooked dinner. but I still have to go to work in the morning. Thought about calling in, but I don't want to be that person all the time. So this is our progress right here. You can see that. And I like it so far, but it's taken a long time, and I still got this section and the whole front. So listen out, please help me. I just wish like somebody would knock on my door and just be like, let me braid your hair for you, because I would give them all my money. I shall pick back up tomorrow. Good night. Back from work. So I did wake up this morning and go to work. I had to be there at 6:30, so I woke up at like 5:40. I literally got up and just got dressed. And I had my hair in a bun. And fun fact, I had to take a badge photo today. And I just literally took it like this. So it looks just like twists, but it's literally all this. So I'm going to reset up my hair because I cleaned up the whole bathroom last night, so I need to reset up my hair and get started. So I started off by finishing the back, so I still had like a few more rows to do in the back. So this is me just doing the parts ahead of time, and then I'm going to go back and braid them, but I'm not going to record that part. And then now I'm on the front side. There's Joseph being a distraction. And then, so this is me doing the first part. So this was the first time I did a cornrow with added hair. Now, I'm not really proficient at this, so we're learning together. Like, we're doing this process together. I first tried to do it with my hands, like, on the side of me. But I think I was trying to do a Dutch braid or French braid instead of a cornrow. And I kept messing up. So I decided to put my hands, like, on top of each other, like, coming from the back. And that was how it was easier for me to do the cornrow that way. So you first want to start by braiding the front. This helps you get like a more defined braid that starts from the top and not like in the middle. And then this is how you add the hair. And I do slow it down at a later part, but you can watch this part just to see how to add it in it quicker. But you make a little loop, add it under your pointer finger, and then you just kind of connect it in and braid it in. I will slow that down later for the people who've never done this before. And then when I get to the part where I start braiding, I flip my hands and braid them overhanded. And then this is when you can add in curly pieces. Try to kind of look at all of your hair and see like where you need more curly pieces, towards the top, towards the bottom, or sometimes you just need a straight braid, kind of make it, this is where you get to kind of be artistic. And then all of my ends are curling. I added the curly pieces in. Look at this man, he didn't bleach his polo shirt. This is him showing me his artwork. But yeah, so this is my first braid. I felt pretty proud of myself. I think it looks so good. And then the next section is going to be individuals. So I'm just literally going based on the picture. So these are individuals, and I'm going to do triangle parts. And so I did box in the back and then triangle parts in the front. And so then the next one is going to be this kind of like, it's like an X-braid. So what I did is I first sectioned off the whole braid. It's going to be an X. And then I split that piece in half and then in fours. So I did put it in half and then I split it in 4 pieces. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I will braid the beginning of that piece, like that number 1 part, and then I will connect it to the back section of the next one. And that's how you're going to get an X. I mean, I don't know how other people do it, but I feel like this was the easiest for me. So get ready. So we're going to start corn rolling. A little pomade. You don't need a lot. You can actually probably braid with nothing. I think I might start doing that. So first you want to braid a little bit with your real hair at the beginning before you start the corn roll. And this helps you get a straight braid. Then you want to start adding in hair. So loop your finger, add it under your pointer finger, and continue braiding. I feel like I kept getting some hair stuck underneath my nail. And then you connect it to that back piece. See how you did that? Now look, I'm not the most perfect braider, but I feel like it came out pretty good. And so now I'm going to braid the remaining pieces of hair. And this is where I'm kind of slowing it down and zooming in for you. So first start by doing a cornrow, braiding it without adding hair. Then once you get a solid beginning of the braid, then you want to start moving down the braid and adding hair. You have a little loop, make a loop, put it underneath your pointer finger, just like that, okay? And then you have your hair. Now, some of it attaches to that piece of hair on top, the other one attaches to the other piece. Does that make sense? I don't know. I hope it does. Then you start braiding normally, and your hair just becomes added in. Now, if you don't know how to cornrow, I feel like that's step one. This is advanced. Adding hair and then doing it to your own hair is like an additional steps, okay? So if you need to keep replaying that piece over and over again, then do so. But that's how I do I just make a little loop, add it under my pointer finger, and that's continue braiding. And then you want to just, when you get to the part where you're going over the other braid, do like a free braid, like where there's no hair attached. And then you can attach the hair when you get to the other side. Because otherwise it's going to kind of start bunching up. And that is how you do an X. That's how I did it. And I just did literally the same pattern on this side. On the other side, the only difference is the other side has single braids as that first row instead of a single braid. But you can kind of do any pattern that you want depending on the shape of your head or different pictures that you find that are your inspiration pictures. I hope I'm not rambling, but I'm trying to explain this as best as I can. And then when I get to the bottom, I flip my hands because it's just easier for me to braid overhand than to keep braiding it from behind. This is how you add hair in. So you take the piece of hair, you add it in to your fingers. Try to attach each piece, and then you go underneath and catch it. And then you just continue to braid. Slow this down as many times as you need, okay? This is not a walk in the park. Okay, so the next part, it looks like, okay, it's supposed to be 2 braids right here, but I just feel like with the shape of my head, I'm just gonna do one. And that's what it's gonna be. So this next part, it looks like she has, okay, then she has this 1 braid right here, this right here. It's gonna be braids. That was a good part on the first try. Cool. Then in the middle, it looks like and the braids are like this. I'm never doing this hairstyle ever again. Ever again. Ever. Yeah. Did I say ever? Never again. Never again. It has taken me, I think, 2 complete days. I mean, give or take a few hours, you know. But that's how it's felt for me. These you can do them that way, but I don't really feel like doing that. I always gotta do all my braids going like this and then just flip them. Yeah. So. This is how you add in curly pieces to the middle of your hair. So you want to start by that little piece that's like the square end. Try to keep that in the braid. And then the other piece is going to be the one that you eventually leave out. So you first add it in, then you want to braid a few times, both pieces, because if you just leave one out, it will slip out. So braid it a few times, and then when the curly piece gets back to the side that you want to leave it out on, it could be the front, the back, wherever you want to leave it out on, then you take it out. You can either hold it in your mouth or you can use a clip, and then you just continue braiding the rest of the curly piece in the hair. And this will make sure that the piece doesn't slip out, and then you still have a curly piece. Look how long my hair is. When I take these braids out, I'm going to have to literally unbraid it from the bottom because my hair pretty much goes like pretty far. But yeah, you keep braiding. And then if you need to add in extra braiding hair, because if your braids are too thin, you can. Or if you're all the way to the bottom, you can add in the curly piece at the end. And I will show you how to do that as well. So when you get to a stopping point, you want to add in your curly piece. And this might be a thicker piece. So add it in like you add in all the rest of your hair. Then you start braiding. And then after you get a few passes, you want to start sharing hair with the other strands. And this is going to keep it from unraveling and also give you more of a fluffier, more uniform curl. And then when you're all the way done, you just want to take some of the straight braiding hair. If you have some, I usually have a piece. And then you want to make a loop around the hair and tie it in a knot. And do that twice. And grab it, pull it through, tie it in a knot. And do that twice, and that's going to keep your hair from unraveling. It's going to keep it together, and you don't have to braid it all the way to the end. And you can do this with human hair. You can do this with all braiding hair. You can do this with any type of hair that you want to keep the ends unraveled. And now we're finally to the end. So I just wrapped all the ends up with these rods. Make sure you test out your human hair. Make sure it's dippable because you don't want to do all this hard work and then they all go straight. But mine was dippable, so I did a test before. And then I had to do that because some of the braiding hair is in the bottom. So I wanted to make them all uniform. And then I put some mousse in it through all the ends. You don't have to do this step. It's optional, but I feel like it gives it like a more professional look. And then I finished it, and then I'm going to put a tight scarf on it. This is a finished product. I mean, I'm not, the best braider, but to do it myself, I feel like I did pretty good for my first time. You can see the middle, and then you see the other side. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this helps you do your hair or somebody else's hair, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.